I'd give you 3 thumbs down to drag your name into the ground. And on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give you 0 if I could.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Zero If I Could, where comedians discuss absurd reviews. My name is Raul Zambrano.
I'm Brittany Hersbred.
I'm Jake Disharon.
We don't have a guest for today; it's just us. But we'll make it work. So does that
Okay, wow.
Does that sound like confident? We've done this so many times already, but somehow I'm still like
starting us off on such a terrible foot. Like, guys, please keep listening. I know it's just us.
God.
We don't have a beloved guest, but just give us a chance.
I feel like
we're the stars. God.
every time it's just us, you kind of say something like that. But
No, it's just,
it should still be okay. I
Right.
think.
Just suffer through this one, and hopefully next week we'll have a good one.
I think the ones with just us sometimes are the best because a lot of times the ones we have with a guest, we're just talking over them most of the time anyway. So it might as
True.
well just be the
Like a really good point.
Yeah.
I mean, because
You're right.
most of the
I
time
should
it's
be
like,
more confident with it, really.
yeah, most of the time it's someone that maybe one of us knows. So there's a different energy, but the 3 of us know each other. So I'm not trying to impress anybody.
On this episode, it's just us. You're welcome.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yes.
There
Okay,
you go.
great.
I mean, that is a little dismissive of our actual guests, but that's fine. We'll deal with that next week.
There's no winning with you, Jake.
So, Jake, are
Mhm.
you going to go to a doctor for your memory problem? Because today we
My
discovered
memory problem.
it's quite bad. Like, I understand that you don't remember things that we talk about on the podcast. That makes sense to me. But
Okay.
what you said earlier was so wild to me that I was like concerned for your health.
Now, I looked back at the record and feel that I'm right.
No, no.
Ricky, someone else had sent screenshots. Okay, well,
Okay,
first,
all right,
the
yeah.
context. The
Let's-
context.
We got to back way up. So
Alright.
today, as we're recording this, is our friend Caitlin's birthday.
Happy birthday, Caitlin.
I refuse to say it because of what I'm about to explain.
You're
So
going
we
to
have a-
explain the story poorly because you're going to explain it in your favor.
All right, then you explain it. And
Okay.
I can get mad when you say it wrong. And all right, go ahead.
Okay. So today was Caitlin's birthday, and we started doing this thing where she's turning 33. So we started doing this thing where we all were sending memes or gifts of stuff that Caitlin likes, and we were going to do 33 of them. And we started this tradition on Jake's birthday. And Jake messages the group while we're doing this and goes, "How come you guys didn't do this for me on my birthday?" And we were like, "What the fuck, Jake? That's literally how this started." Except for you, we did we were making fun of it, and we did a lot of things that you don't like. But we did the amount of the year.
Wait, my
I
question
don't think
is,
that's true, but
Yeah.
we 100% started with Jake,
Yes.
but was that 2 years ago
Hold
that we
on.
started this?
Okay,
or
let's
was
figure
that
this
just
out.
last year? Okay.
my birthday is in December.
Yes.
Okay, so that was not the first time we've done it. When is everyone else's birthday? Because now it's March. So when is your guys' birthdays?
May.
April.
Okay. So have we done it for both of you?
I don't think so.
Yes.
No.
Yes. 100%.
okay, no. But
Okay.
this is all because we actually started this a couple of years ago on Jake's birthday. So it's been a full round. I think that's what the case is.
The relevant part is
100%
you were like,
Okay.
"Why didn't you do this on my birthday?" And we were like, "We
Actually,
did." And it's very weird that you would not remember that we
So-
did that.
I remembered the interaction. I remembered what happened, and I remembered it accurately. What happened was, so for your guys' birthday, what happens is people post like gifts or memes or whatever of like all the shit you like. for my birthday, and it's like one for every year that you're turning, right? So for my recent birthday, first of all, it was not 34 things.
I said
A.
33 or 34. I didn't remember how old you were. 34? 34?
It's not
We
33
did-
either.
We tried to get to that number.
No, I
I
turned
think we did.
34 most recently, but there were not 34 things in the list. So, A. B, you did not do things I liked. You
No.
did a couple of things that I don't like, including women was one of them.
Yes.
Fun was another one. Somebody just posted the throat goat.
Yes, because you're the throat goat.
See, that goes into, just your things you do like or identify with.
I don't identify with that, nor do I like it. I mean, if somebody else wants to be a throat goat, good for them. I am not the throat goat personally. But I remembered that, and I remembered it correctly. And what I was saying is, you guys both half-assed it for me, and also did something different than everyone else. So there's 5 people in the group. 4 of you got the normal birthday treatment of, here's all the shit you love. This is how well we know you, that we can think of 30 plus things that we know that you like.
But it's not our fault that you like things less.
Don't
Like
you?
the amount of things you like is so
If-
limited
hold on.
that
If
we
you
had
had
to reach out to
If
things
you
you
had
don't like.
tried and could only get to like 14 or 15, I'd be like, okay, what are you going to do? You tried 0.
That's not true. I just looked back. One of the things we put was an avocado. You like because you like vegetables, you're a vegetarian. So that's one. I remember
I
we
don't
did.
particularly like avocados,
Well,
but go on.
I mean, I don't think I did that one, but I remember that
Kind of supporting my point, but go ahead.
we
Keep going.
did 34 because I remember at the end being like, holy shit, I cannot believe that we could think of that many things to do. And I actually think it's nicer that we know 34 things about you that you don't like. That shows how much we pay attention.
Right. Well, but the thing is that, again, definitely did not get to 34. I reread the entire day today. So we didn't get to 34. We got to 32 on your most recent birthday, and everyone was like, holy shit, I can't believe we got to 32 things for Brittany.
For me,
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Right.
easy to get to 32 things for me.
Right. But I'm saying your memory of people saying, holy shit, I can't believe we
was
got to that number was because
possibly
of
for
you,
that.
not
Okay.
because of me.
I see. Raul sent the avocado.
Yes, which I don't remember why. 'Cause
I don't
feel
know
like
why
I would
either.
more aim for things that you don't like.
And a
But-
beer. He sent a beer.
Beer makes sense for things you don't like.
I sent a picture of a very, 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 very sparsely decorated room because you
Right.
had no posters on your wall ever.
Yep, I got that one.
Yeah. I see. And then I sent throat goat because you are the throat goat.
I'm not the throat goat. And even if I was, okay, the point that I was making, and I think I said this on the day, is no one else got an ironic birthday thing.
I would love an ironic one. That would be funny.
Okay. But you didn't get one. And also,
Right,
I wasn't
because
asked.
you're the one who does get the ironic birthday. That's how special you are to us.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
wish I
the
got one.
problem, I'm seeing a couple of problems.
Okay.
One is look, it didn't bother me that it was an ironic thing.
Yeah, we can tell.
I mean, you reread the whole day and then apparently
I-
went back to my birthday and read that because you knew that
I did not
people-
reread.
Okay.
Okay. First of all, I did not reread your birthday. The only reason I went back and looked at it is because you said you need to see a doctor. That's not
I-
what happened.
Okay. Well, okay. I still think you should see a doctor because you do
I'm
have
right.
okay, but your memory's bad normally.
I have a bad memory for like especially things that we talk about on the podcast. I never remember. I could
Have
listen
you
back and it would be like a totally new experience for me. But
have you always been that way?
yeah,
Okay. Then maybe
I mean,
you
we
don't
bring
need-
this up that he doesn't remember high school at
Yeah.
all.
I
like,
think that's weird.
That
I
is
think
very
that's
weird.
not normal.
I think
Unless
it's weird too.
experienced a trauma. I just think it's weird because you went to the doctor because it takes you an hour to fall asleep, which is pretty normal in my opinion. But you can't remember 4 whole years of your life, and you're like, whatever.
No, yeah, nothing to be alarmed about. Just gonna live out the rest of my life.
I mean, yeah. It was, I mean, I remember the things I learned in high school. I remember moments from high school, but you know, people are like, "Hey, do you remember this guy that we went to high school with?" And I'll say, "No." And they're like, really? You were best friends with him for 2.5 years? I'm like,
Do you think
I
it's
don't know.
like that for you with everything after a certain amount of time goes by? Is it just high school, or is it like 5 years passes and then nothing about that previous 5 years you remember?
I think the more depressed I am,
Yes.
the less memories I will have of that time period.
Okay,
And
well
that's
that
why you don't remember this podcast.
Yeah, maybe.
well, that
But-
makes sense then, actually.
Yeah, it does make sense. Although I don't really think it's that funny, so I didn't bring it up before. But yeah, because you know, high school is probably peak for most people. I think for a lot of people, sort of peak depression. So I just didn't form a lot of memories, I guess. But also, it's not normal to not be able to fall asleep for an hour. It should take you about 10 to 15 minutes.
I don't know.
I mean,
An
that's-
hour
I-
seems so short to me,
Yeah.
but we've
Okay, when-
talked about this.
I don't know if we've talked about it on the podcast. When I say
Okay.
it takes me this amount of time to fall asleep, I'm not talking about like I'm in bed and I'm looking at my phone or I'm like watching a YouTube video or anything like that. That like maybe that amount of time, it's an hour and that's fine. But like all devices are off, lights are off. I'm like, okay, I'm going to sleep. And then from that moment of everything going off to falling asleep, now it's probably 15 minutes or so. But it used to be a long time. It used to be like an
And
hour.
what changed for you other than getting the diagnosis of sleep apnea? Because you haven't gotten like a mask, right? So just knowing has all of a sudden cured you?
No, my doctor believed that it was actually stress and like anxiety, and she gave me some like really small dose Xanax.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll put you to sleep in 10 minutes.
Yeah, but I don't take it every single night. I would just,
Okay.
if it was really bad, I would take, if I couldn't get to sleep after like an hour plus, be like, all right, I'll take a Xanny.
So you have done nothing to actually fix your problem. You're just putting a Band-Aid on it.
Well, I'm also on Zoloft now.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. How do you feel like that's working for you? I just got on some new stuff and I don't know if I want to stay on it or not.
I don't really notice a big difference. It's a pretty low dose, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because I wasn't like fucked up mentally during the day. I guess it was just like a little bit of floating anxiety at night was enough to keep me up for a full hour, an insane amount of time. But yeah, ever since I've been taking it, it's like it hasn't been an issue. The only night that I really had trouble sleeping since I've been on it was, I think, the night of the election. The November 5th of 2020. I couldn't get sleep that night. But since
That makes
then,
sense.
since all the problems in the world are now over, I've just
Mhm.
been pretty much smooth sailing.
Sleeping like a baby.
Absolutely. Nothing to worry about here.
Yeah. Mine makes me extremely nauseous. So if I don't take it like the second before I fall asleep, then it's like 15 minutes later, I feel like I'm going to vomit.
Ugh.
But I only started taking it 2 weeks ago, and apparently that's something that's supposed to wear off. So we'll see. We'll see. Jury's still out
2
on.
weeks sounds like just a long time though for that to be an issue. You know?
But antidepressants take a really long time for you to get used to or get off
Yeah.
of. It sucks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not that you would know, because you got
I
like
mean-
that healthy brain or whatever over there.
Right. Yeah.
It makes me
always-
sick.
I know.
I'm
Disgusting.
always the happy boy.
Yeah.
I'm
This
like
is
a
the
golden
first.
retriever.
It's the first time. Well, I've taken them off and on my whole life. Like I've been on them for years and years at a time. But this is the first time in like years that I'm like, all right, I think I need to give it a try again. So going forward, earnestly, because there's been times where I like took it for 2 days and I'm like, I don't feel better. I'm gonna stop. But I'm like, this
Yeah.
time, yeah, I'm gonna give it a solid actual try and like take it for like 6 weeks and like actually see. So yeah.
Well, I hope that works out and you're like a whole different person.
I don't think I'll be different because even when I
I
was
hope
taking
you are.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. Okay. Me too. I hope so too. That would be nice.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I want to see the world like Raoul does.
Yeah. What do you think would happen if you started taking antidepressants, Raul? Would it make you depressed? Like if you take
Right, probably the opposite would happen. But then maybe
Adderall?
I'd stop yelling at video games though. That'd be
Oh,
nice.
that'd be so cool.
Oh, it would even you out.
Yeah.
Hmm. Well, I guess the yelling at video games means that you don't have a perfect emotional health. You got some problems. You got some skeletons in your closet.
Well,
Sure.
that's how he gets his anger out, which is really healthy, I think. Right? And then he doesn't take it out on other people, except sometimes when he gets drunk, he gets mad at me for really weird reasons.
Okay, love to hear one of those reasons.
The only one I could think of recently, I don't think we talked about this. I don't know if it's the one that you're probably thinking of, but
I think we're thinking about the same one.
we were really drunk and we were going to take shots.
Mhm.
And there was a shot glass that was on our counter and it had an already used lime in it. Like somebody had like bit the lime and put it in the shot glass. And Raoul handed it to me to take a shot. And I was like, can I get a different shot glass? And he's like, for whatever reason, he just got super pissed off that I didn't want to use this shot glass that already had a lime that I don't know. Because we had like, it was like Super Bowl. It was like a bunch of people were over at the house. And he was like, ugh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, because Brittany can't use this shot. And I was like, I wasn't even like being combative. I was just like, well, yeah, I just don't really want the.
Someone
Okay.
else's pre-eaten lime is in it.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
too good for this shot glass.
Oh,
Yeah,
all right,
he
I
was
guess he's still upset about it. All right.
I know. And then I think I was even like, I mean, I guess I'll just dump it out and use this shot glass. Like I get, and he's like, yeah, because no. Let me get
Guess
you
I'll
a
go
new.
fuck myself.
Let me get
apparently.
you a new shot glass. And then the next day he was like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I don't know why I got so mad about it.
It was like about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I was just like, just seeing red.
Yeah. I was like, I mean, I know that sometimes I am annoying, but I was like, I
Sure.
feel
No,
like,
that was definitely.
yeah, in
not
that
the case.
moment,
It was
I was
just-
like, I really
That's a
don't
pretty
think-
reasonable.
Yeah.
I think that's a point on Brady's side for
Yeah.
drunken unreasonableness.
I could see if I was like,
Rules.
this shot glass isn't cute. It's not the shot glass that I like taking
Right.
shots out of. And then Rob
But it
was
was like already used and there was a fucking lemon in it.
yeah.
And I'm like,
And like a
"How
little
dare
liquid
you
at the
not-"
bottom.
Yeah. Someone
Come on,
spit.
it's just a stranger spit in there.
Stop being a pussy.
What are
Just
you, a
take the
princess? Drink it.
Yeah. I would say maybe like every 6 times Raoul gets drunk. If he's very drunk,
I'm
he'll get a
very-
little bit mean about something.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I have underlying anger. I think that's what it is. Just
What are you so
Whatever.
angry about? Where's this coming from? Because
yeah,
I don't think
just-
it's stemming from Warzone and then affecting the other parts of your life.
No,
I think
see,
it's
it's definitely okay. So the reason why I get mad at Warzone is because I've been playing it for so long and can, not do well to a point where it doesn't make sense to me.
So you're just
where-
not getting better at it.
right. So I'm
Yeah.
just not getting better at it despite how
Right.
much time I spend on this thing,
I hear
much
you on that.
like basically anything else in my life. And so
I see.
And so
Okay.
this anger isn't necessarily just solely related to video game as it is just a general frustration about my life. And then sometimes that comes out also when I'm drunk. And so
Do you know what I have found to be very helpful when it comes to things like that? If you are not good at something on your first try,
Mhm.
just stop doing it. That's what I do.
okay. Yeah.
And I
that
have
sounds healthy
found,
as well.
yeah, that has made me feel really good about myself. So just quitting a lot of things gets rid of a lot of anger.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I mean that is sound logic.
Mhm.
Yeah, well, what I like to do is you try something and you're like, hey, I'm kind of better at this than I thought I would be. And then you keep doing it for a little while, and then you realize like, oh, but I don't seem to be like going in the direction of, hey, I started out a little better than I thought, and then it keeps going up. It was like, at a scale of 1 to 10, I started out at like a 3, where most people started as a 1, but then I just remain a 3 indefinitely forever. And there's no point in which I'm like, all right, I've grinded it out, and now I'm a 4. And people who started out as a 1 are now at like a 7.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at that and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this.
I think for me to keep doing something, I have to start out as either a 5 or above, right? And usually, so what'll happen is I'll start at a 5, and that'll be enough for me to keep doing it.
Mhm.
And then I will get better. But then I do absolutely nothing with that thing. So it's really pointless. Anyways, like singing lessons, been taking them for like 5 years. What do I have to show for it? Nothing. The acting classes, nothing. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Taking classes like that, you're bettering yourself in some way, right? That's, you don't have to show it off, but
That's true. That is what I tell other people.
Okay.
I say that all the time. I say, people are like, why don't you do karaoke? Why don't you join a band? Blah, 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 blah. And I say, I do it for me, and that's enough. And that is what I say.
Okay, but what you mean is I'm scared.
Yes.
to do that.
Yeah. So I asked
Well,
Raul-
I was gonna say me and Brittany are about to join a choir though.
Yeah, I asked
So-
him if he wanted
Excuse
to join a choir.
A choir.
Yeah, not like
Yeah.
a church choir, but like
I-
well, you
I
said
didn't even
it
think
as
about
if
that.
We're joining the gay men's choir.
I do
I
want to join the
see.
gay men's choir because they sing fun songs, and a lot of the songs, like choirs that I was looking up, it was all like really old people, and they sang like
I mean, it is kind of an
weird
old
fucking
person
song.
hobby,
That's
but
why I
mean,
want to join the gay man's choir because it's fun. I can't find anything like that for straight people. It sucks to be straight. They have it
we
so
might have
easy.
to start one, like the straight people's fun choir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if they let women join the gay men's choir. Probably not, right? I mean,
I would
I-
guess. I haven't done any research, but I
I
would
would
guess
assume
that the
no.
answer is no.
I would assume no.
Because of
I
the
feel
word
like-
men that's in the
Sure. I feel like obviously, but then a small part of me is like, I don't know. Maybe they do
Sure.
open it up to anybody. I have no idea. But I'm going to look in it further. I need to look up like contemporary choirs because everything I was seeing was, and then one that I saw, you had to know how to read music. And I was like, why? Let me sing a song. I don't know how to read music.
I don't care about doing it right, quote
Yeah.
unquote. I want to have fun.
Let me interpret it how I just do it.
What would be your ideal choir song? Like, what are you hoping to sing?
I don't know, stuff like they do on Glee.
It's like
Fun
like
songs.
Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, Fleetwood
Yeah,
Mac,
we could-
Journey.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know, just stuff that was famous
Not
with
just Ave Maria.
right, exactly. Like maybe 70s to now would be
Okay.
fine. Even if it's musical theater type stuff, that's fine too, but I just want it to be, upbeat and fun.
I don't know how many times I've seen choirs in my life. Like maybe once or twice when I took a classical music course in community college, but it was very boring shit. It was like classical music,
Right.
and that is very boring
Yeah.
in general.
Yes.
I mean, it's
and-
like impressive on a technical level, but it's like, I don't want to listen to this.
and it's a lot of like it's kind of like operatic singing, and that's not what I'm trained in. That's a totally different kind of singing style. So that's
Maybe
just
are
what
we
I'm
looking for more of an a cappella type of thing? Like,
maybe we should join an a cappella group. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll look at both. Both.
both.
Hey,
you nailed it.
What's happening right now?
I say, people make fun of me because I say both, like with an L.
Both.
Yeah.
I get
So
that. I do that a little bit. Too.
both.
Both.
Roof? Is it roof or roof?
Yeah, no, roof.
I think it's Rolf. Pretty sure that's what it is. Rolf.
Yeah. Because my parents, they're refinancing their house, so it's getting like they have to do a termite examination, And then the guy was saying that they would have to go up on the roof.
You lost it. You lost it so
I
hard.
really don't know.
You
what
had
the-
it. You had it the first time, and then you
Roof.
got
The housetop?
crap.
Roof.
Roof.
Fuck. Okay. Roof. The roof.
There you go.
That's how I should
Yeah, the
remind
roof.
myself. The roof. The roof is on
Yeah.
fire. Because it's
The-
not the roof. The roof. The roof is on fire. Okay, that is how I'll remember that. Okay.
How about
cool.
the wolf? The wolf.
The
The woof?
woof. The wolf.
Wolf.
No, you gotta hit the L in wolf.
I removed the L's where I shouldn't and I put them where I shouldn't.
Woof does sound very funny.
What do you mean? It sounds
Look out,
Well-
there's a woof. We're
That
gonna
sounds
die.
so
I'll be
normal to
killed
me.
by a woof.
you saying that to me. I'm like, what? Yeah, okay. What's wrong
Wolf.
with that? Wolf.
Wolf.
It sounds like you're purposely trying to say the wolf. Watch
It
out for the
Sounds like
wolf.
I'm intentionally saying it right. Yeah. No, you got
That was
me.
great pronunciation.
But like, I don't know. It's to me, it feels like
Wolf.
somebody who would say like salmon, like they're purposely
No,
saying
but
the
the
L
L
where
is
they shouldn't.
silent and
I know that it is, but I'm saying it feels that way to me.
But there's a difference when one is correct and one is not.
That
Yeah.
is an important distinction to be made there, Raul. That's a really good point.
Yes.
I just
Salmon.
don't think it's natural to say wolf.
But
I
it's
don't think
correct.
it's natural to say both. So, I mean, I guess we're all freaks.
It's okay.
Rolf.
Whatever. Anywho, do we have reviews?
I guess we do.
No.
No, we don't have any.
I
Skip
do.
for this week?
But I have their screenshots, so I need to find.
Okay, I got
Okay.
one right here.
Oh, okay, I found it. But okay.
Well, when you said I need to find it, I thought that was going to take more than 1/8 of a second. So I was trying to step in, but all right, I'll just go.
Okay.
Okay, this is a review for a place called Melrose Moving. It's a moving company in Los Angeles.
Okay.
1 star. The worst moving experience ever. If you want to watch someone walk a single house plant at a time while charging you by the hour into your home at the pace of a snail on Quaaludes, then by all means hire them. They charged $1,000 to move my 1-bedroom apartment. Just a heads up to everyone who isn't a millionaire who spends money every weekend burning money in their gold fire pits. P.S. They also left $1,000 worth of rugs on my porch to get rained on. One person found that review cool. Okay. Have you guys ever hired a moving company before?
Yes.
It sucks.
Yes, it didn't go it didn't go great.
I spent maybe around $1,000 moving a 2-bedroom apartment for like a half a mile down the street, and it was fucking insane. Like
How long did it take for you?
I mean, probably 8 hours.
Yeah. So we had a similar experience, but we had to fill out, like, I don't know if you did the same thing, a very detailed questionnaire. Is when we moved from our 2-bedroom apartment to the 3-bedroom house now. We had to fill out almost everything we had in the apartment, square footage, what was in each room. So they knew all of these details when they came, and they quoted us a certain amount of time and how much it would be per hour. And they sent 2 guys to do it. And yeah, it took like over 8 hours. And the whole time the guy kept complaining, and he was like, they should have sent more people. You guys have a lot of stuff. They should have sent more people, blah, blah, blah. And we're like, well, we told them exactly what, I think we even sent pictures, like exactly what we had in every room. So the amount that we were charged was like double what we thought it was going to be based on what we were quoted. And then so we ended up getting yeah, well, we ended up getting money back because we were like, hey, we told you guys exactly what we had in every room and all of the stuff. And even the guy who works there said that you guys should have sent more people. So like, we're not paying for all this extra time when you didn't, provide enough people for the amount of stuff that we have. But yeah, it was like, I mean, I don't think a lot of people have super pleasant experiences with moving companies.
Well, it's such a weird incentive model, because it's like the guy who's moving is getting paid by the hour, but it's also hard work. So why would you want to do it as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
Like, what is he getting out of that deal? So let's say he could do it in 3 hours if he just busted his ass. Then he would make less money by the end of the day, and also burn himself out in those 3 hours by
Right.
working as hard as possible. Why would he do that? Of course
Yeah.
he's going to take all day. He would make more money that way.
Yeah.
It's so insane.
It definitely shouldn't be a pay by the hour
Yeah, it should
sort
be
of
like just
job.
like a flat
Of-
rate type of thing.
Yeah.
Yes, they should get an inventory of what they need to move and then give you a price for how much that's going to be. That way, the guy who's there, the faster he gets it done, the faster he's done with the job.
Yeah.
He has the incentive to work quickly.
If you need to schedule a walkthrough before to look through everything, yeah, by all means.
And if he
Please.
busts his ass and works really hard, I'll probably give him a good tip. Like,
Yeah.
everyone would win in that scenario, except for the moving company, because they wouldn't make all that extra money from the
Well,
6 extra hours it took that day to move you.
they could book more jobs in one day rather than
True.
the one job they have this person spreading out there. Anyway, what I took away from your review is that I really, really wish that at some point in my life I was able to try Quaaludes, because I really think that they would
I
be
know.
up my alley. Like, they just seem like such a nice drug.
It seems fun. It sucks they stopped making them like what, 30 years ago or something.
Maybe even more, because in Wolf of Wall Street, in Wolf of Wall Street, wasn't it like he had like the last like 4 Quaaludes that existed, and that was back
Something
in like
that.
the 80s or something.
Yeah, I think you're right. But it's every time people talk about him, it seems like the most chill drug you could possibly do.
And remember how fucked up he was in that scene?
Yeah, I
seems
mean, he was
great.
on more than Quaaludes, I think. But yes, I would love to be in that state if I wasn't stressed out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you had nothing else to do and you were just like a fucking blob,
Yeah, because he's trying to
But-
like get somewhere and communicate something.
he was in a hurry.
I-
That is not the state you want to be in when you're in a hurry. But if you're just like, I got this Ben and Jerry's ice cream and I'm going to watch a movie that I've seen 35 times already. So let me turn into human Jello.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
How many
I
other
also-
drugs are there that like don't exist anymore? I feel like that's such a big rarity.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
how
know.
not enjoyable were these drugs, or how like not useful were they that it just like is gone.
I think that they were just so widely abused, right? Like, I don't think it was, I don't even,
I guess. I mean,
I think they fucked you up too much than what their purpose was, because they were for anxiety, right?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look into the history of Quaaludes after
Yeah.
this.
Well,
But
if you find any,
I remember
Quaalude
thinking,
party.
yeah, I remember thinking he should definitely win an Oscar for that scene alone, because it was incredible.
It was really, yeah, I remember watching that movie in the theater and just being like, that was the best I'm very fucked up acting I think I've ever seen.
I felt
On
it. Like, I
screen.
felt
Oh,
fucked
yes.
up watching him.
Because if you've ever had that experience of like being very high, but also something important is happening, and you're like, you need to do something or go somewhere, it's a very unique feeling and it's awful. And you don't really see that on screen other than the Wolf of Wall Street, that one particular scene where he's great. Leo, come on the
Yeah.
pod. We're
Yeah,
big
you know what?
fans.
Good actor.
We'll try to get him.
Good.
I had a friend
I'll reach out.
who listens to this, so I won't say their name, but they there was a period of time where we were doing not a lot of painkillers together, but maybe like once a week we would take a painkiller and we would go to the movies and
Mhm.
stuff. But I remember them saying that they like took so many Vicodin that they they couldn't walk themselves up the stairs, which was just very funny to me.
I've only taken Vicodin. I think I got some when I had my wisdom teeth removed, and I was like so excited because they gave me a bottle of like 30 or 40 of them.
Yeah. What'd
and
you
I
do
took
with it?
one. Well, I took 1 or 2, and then I gave the rest to a friend
Ugh.
who unfortunately had to throw them away because she was going to like some kind of music festival and they searched her
Oh,
bag and she had to throw it away.
that sucks. I would be
Oh,
really
yeah, but it
excited.
was you, by the way. I don't
It
know
was
if-
me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was at
Wow.
Coachella. You're right. You're right. I thought that was Adderall.
You look
but
so pissed at this person too, and then it
You're
turns
right.
out
No,
it's you.
You're right. I
I
remember.
thought you knew the whole time.
No, because while you were saying that, I was like, oh yeah, the same thing happened to me with Adderall. I forgot it was. I forgot it was the Vicodin.
No, it was Vicodin. But
Yeah.
I was excited to try it because it's like I don't really do very many drugs, but painkiller where it's just like I don't know, you feel good for a while. That seems really chill. But it made me so fucking nauseous.
Yeah.
It was like way worse. It was so not worth it. I could just like sit and eat a salad. That was all I was able to do because I had so much nausea. It was awful.
Did you eat before you took it? That's helpful.
I don't remember. Probably not.
Because even I really, really, really like painkillers, but every once in a while, one will hit me kind of
Yeah.
wrong. I'll get pretty nauseous, but most of the time, it's just so worth it. Yes, I remember that because it was very funny because they ended up going through our entire car. It was because one of the guys that we were with, they had a bunch of drugs on them, and he had it like in his underwear. And while the security was checking us through, it like fell out onto the floor, and then so they checked everything that we had. And I remember not feeling like I had a right to be upset about throwing away this bottle of Vicodin because everybody lost all of their drugs that was worth like thousands of dollars. That
And
they
you got
bought.
it for free.
Yeah, exactly. And it's yeah. So I was just like, oh, no big deal. And that guy wasn't allowed to go into Coachella anymore, but he ended up sneaking in around the back. I don't know. He got in somehow, but yeah, that was a bummer for sure.
Did he have it
Right.
in his like he had it in his underwear, and he was wearing pants, but it like slipped
He
through?
was wearing shorts, I think. So
Well, I feel like pants
Was-
is the way to go in that scenario.
I just
And I
think
guess suppose Coachella, it's hot.
I don't remember. I mean, Stephanie will listen to this and she'll be able to give like the details that I'm missing. I don't think we were expecting them to come go through our stuff, and it happened very suddenly. So he like put it in his underwear like
Oh,
quickly.
he didn't have a plan.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. It was
Because
so
I would
long.
think, okay, if I was going to do that, first of all, you got to wear briefs. That's the number one. You wear boxers, it's going to fall right. It's like wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And then you would have to like tape them to the briefs maybe. And then, rip them out once you get inside. They're not going to fall. But if you're just like in the moment, holy shit, and then just jam them into your pants, that's no good.
Yeah.
Poor
I
guy.
remember I was also mad because because you're not allowed to bring drugs into the festival, obviously. But I
Wink.
consider I consider myself a person, especially at that time, I never did coke, anything, like nothing like that. So I always consider myself a person who doesn't do drugs. Like I'm like, I don't even have to worry about anything like that. Like I'm just going here to drink. So
Except for the painkillers
Yeah,
you would do every
that's
3
what
days.
that's what I'm saying. It didn't even occur to me that I had them in my purse because I'm like, oh, I don't do drugs. I'm not bringing drugs into the festival. Like, and then when they were like, oh, we need to go through your purse, I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like,
I'm
wow.
a drug addict.
I was like, oh, like it didn't
shit.
even occur to me to leave it home because I'm like, I don't have anything bad on me. Like, I don't do acid or like Molly or any,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, since we're talking so much about drugs, this story occurred to me earlier, but I forgot to say it. In terms of somebody getting mad at you when they're fucked up for like no reason, I was at a party one time,
Mhm.
and I was sitting on this couch talking to a friend of mine, and at some point he got a text on his phone and was like, "I need to go to the bathroom," and then he went to the bathroom. Came back maybe 10 minutes later, and he had like a bunch of white residue around his nose. And I was like, hey, first of all, welcome back. Second of all, you got some stuff right here. And he just sort of like looked at me and went, you know what, Jake? Fuck you. I was like, So I just took out my phone and turned the camera on and showed him his face. And he went, oh. And then he walked to the bathroom and cleaned up and came back down. Never said a word about, oh, hey, sorry, I shouldn't have yelled fuck you when you pointed out. Because I guess he thought that I was making fun of him like I knew he went to do coke.
Yeah.
And I was just being a dick. Which, okay, I'm not going to say that I'm above that, but I don't care if somebody does coke. I'm not going to make fun of someone for that.
Right.
When I'm just telling him the truth about stuff that's on his face and him just immediate 10 out of 10 anger. Fuck you, man. I'm ready to end our friendship right now because of this remark.
Yeah, that's actually very nice of you because one time a bunch of us were in OB and our friend was doing coke and we all went into a bar and he was the last one to try to get in. And then the door guy was like, nope, and pointed to his nose because he had so much
Oops.
coke in his nose. And then our friend was like, whoop, and just like turned around and was like, yep, got it. Like, can't get in.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
oopsie-doopsie.
what are friends for if they can't give you a little bit like, hey, bro, just do that? That's what friendship's all about.
Yeah, that is. And that's
Right,
why
Raul?
you're Raul's
Oh, yeah.
best friend.
Raul would not do that for me.
I would tell you if you had coke up your nose.
You would not. You'd
You
let
have
me go to
cocaine beard.
jail. A cop would be walking by. He'd step right in front of us and be like, hey, Jake, you got something right here. It might be illegal what you have right here. And then I go to jail. I get the death penalty.
But I
Well,
told you though. and
I
that's what's
think
important.
I guess
he
that's a
w-
good point.
I think
that
he would
scenario.
only do that so he could bail you out and like really look like a real best friend.
Yeah, now you owe me.
I guess in that scenario, I would say we're even. But okay. If you bailed me out, I guess I might forgive you. Although I could still eventually wind up going to jail for it. But that's a whole other story. Let's not worry about that. Anybody got another review?
Yeah. Okay. So this is a review for hair bleach to bleach your hair blonde. So
Yeah. I know I don't have any hair, but I know what that is. I know.
I didn't know if Raul knew.
Oh,
I mean, I know it's
'cause
not
of-
like it's not gonna be. You're not gonna bleach your hair black.
Well,
Yeah.
also there it could be like, to bleach your mustache or whatever, but this is specifically like to dye your hair blonde. So,
Fair enough. Got it.
okay. 1 star. It says hair fell out is thin/translucent. Do not buy. That's the headline. Do not buy this. I bleached my hair today with this product and it completely ruined my long, beautiful hair. Per the box, wash when hair is the color you want. It doesn't state how long to keep it in. So after about 30 minutes, I took a shower and clumps of my hair began clogging my drain. I've been growing my hair for years and now I'm going to have to be bald because of this horrible product. I've bleached my hair before and this has never happened. The end result, most of my hair fell off and what is left is so weak and thin, it looks almost translucent. If I continue to brush my hair, I will have nothing left on my head. I've been in tears all day and tried to repair what I could, but it looks like I'm going to have to cut off all my hair because of this horrible product. I would give 0 stars if that was an option.
Wow.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little shout out to the pod there at the end.
Yep.
How long are you supposed to leave that on your hair?
I don't know because I've never bleached my own hair because when I dyed my hair blonde, I did what I feel like a sane thing to do is, and I went to a professional to do because that's not really something like, I mean, my friend will bleach her own hair, but she went to hair school for a little bit. Like she's been doing her hair for quite a long time. And even that has happened to her. Her hair like started to all fall out once.
And she knows what she's doing. So,
Yes.
To do it yourself, like, and not knowing anything about it, I think,
And
probably not recommended.
To have instructions that are leave on until your hair is the color that you want it is insane.
What if your hair starts out black? It seems like it's going to take a long time to get to like platinum blonde if that's what
you
you're
can't
looking
even you can't even do
Yeah.
that. Your hair
Yeah.
will fall. You can't. Yeah. So I don't know. 30 minutes seems like a really long time. I don't know. But whatever. I think I
It's
would have just
bleach.
not used hair bleach that said leave on until it's the desired color.
Yeah, there's people will just sort of roll the dice with a lot of weird stuff that I would not. like, I mean, people use like a Nair and like they wax themselves. I would just never. I wouldn't mess with any of that shit.
I'll wax myself. What's going to go wrong with waxing yourself?
I mean, it depends on what chemical you use, I guess.
I
I guess
guess.
I'm thinking more of like a chemical
Okay, yeah.
peeler or something like that. Waxing's probably not that dangerous, but yeah, like Nair. People put Nair on their,
They're
downstairs
burning.
area.
Yeah, you can't do that.
You're not supposed to.
That'll burn your...
Raoul.
I like it. I like the burn.
All right, can't argue with that.
But for someone who has been growing her long, beautiful hair out and taking such good care of it, like, wow, you really, yeah, you should have been more careful.
You threw it all away for
That's
not
definitely
much
one of those
payoff.
things that's like very understandable if you're in fucking tears.
This is a. Can you see this picture? Because I
Uh,
can't
Hold
see
it
it.
higher.
you gotta
Higher.
raise it up. This is the
Oh my god!
that is a lot of hair. Yeah, it's like
That looks like
Yeah.
a smashed rat.
Yeah,
Somebody hit a rat with a frying pan.
but you know what? The blonde color looks nice.
It looks
though.
great.
it
I
did.
mean,
Yeah, I mean,
I'm
if that
imagining
would have
that.
just stayed on his head, 100 on her head, I guess. Yes, that would have looked great.
Yeah, I'm imagining that on somebody, like the top of someone's head. Very sexy, but in a
Not on the
clump
floor, not on the sink.
shower. That's not ideal.
hmm
Because I don't know if you know this, when you are going bald, there is a process of like, hey, my hair is falling out, where you're in the shower and you will see hair in the drain, and it just gets more and more, like over the course of a couple of years maybe, and you eventually have to make peace with the fact that you're going bald. But to really accelerate the timeline of this, probably happened like 20 minutes of, hey, you know what I should do is lighten my hair a little bit, to, oh fuck, I need a wig.
Yeah,
I have a wig. I'm never gonna have real hair again. That's tough.
I have a lot of hair, and sometimes I lose so much hair in the shower that it's alarming. But I guess relative to the amount of hair that I have, it's not. But like sometimes, like an amount that almost seems like that picture, to where I'm like, oh my god, like is
Then-
this normal or is it not? I don't know.
And then I gotta scrape it out of the drain. 'Cause we
I
share a restroom.
Don't ever let my hair go down that drain ever. I am very careful about it because I brush. We're not going to get into it. I don't let.
I just said because I knew it was gonna make you mad.
Because we very first moved in and you like blamed that on me, and I'm like, I've showered in there like 2 times. And actually, if you look at the trash can next to our toilet, my hair will be in there because I'll throw it in the trash can, not in the.
Now maybe this is what was underlying Raoul's anger about the lemon in the shot glass. Like
I
he
gotta
was
keep-
actually mad about how
If-
much hair is
if-
in the drain,
If
but he
we- if
couldn't express it
anybody
in a
should
mature
be-
way.
If anybody should be mad about hair, it's Raoul's beard hair that's all over.
It's also
Raoul.
my hair. I'm also losing that as well. So it's a combination of the two.
It's
That's
all
why.
these little
But just
hairs
yeah.
everywhere.
Just hair, beard. Yeah, I mean, I just like say, sometimes you're just losing hair, and I gotta decide at what point I gotta start shaving my head.
I think it's pubic hair. I think it's beard
Sure, that's
hair,
all.
and I
It's
think
all
it's head
hair.
hair. Yeah,
It's horrible to think about.
it's all right.
I mean, it's,
I don't think it is. The only hair that's
Shower.
in my shower right now is my dog's hair because I gave her a bath.
That's disgusting.
that's so gross,
well,
Jay. Come on, why would you bring that up?
Sorry, I'll put her down. That make you happy?
Probably make you happy. I mean, you only got her like basically as a bet to prove us wrong, but it's all right.
And I did. And you look like fools.
And now you tolerate her.
Yeah.
But she loves you a lot, so that's nice.
Yeah. I don't know. She's got a thing for me. I'm like, whatever. I'm just kind of trying to like play it cool. But
Ender just had surgery, and I told you guys that he was leaking a lot of blood from his asshole,
yeah,
which the doctor said was normal.
I mean, it seems
Because-
great. actually.
Well, yeah, that was not. So, anyway, he ended for everybody listening, which is funny because 2 episodes we were talking about how much Ender has cost me and all the stuff that's always wrong with him, which it was definitely foreshadowing to this.
Mhm.
So, one day he started like doing this thing where he was like dry heaving, like hard swallowing, seemed like he was like trying to gag something up, but nothing was happening. And he was doing that for like hours. So I was like, I guess he ate something because that's what he does sometimes. But I was very confused because he was never out of my sight the night before. Like but I didn't. So I was like, okay. So I took him to the ER vet and they did an x ray and they couldn't really find anything and they didn't really have an explanation for it, but whatever. Then a few days later, he kept doing the same thing. So I took him back to my regular vet and they said that on the x-ray, like he did have something blocking his intestine, but they didn't know what it was. And if it was still there 3 days later and hadn't moved, they would have to do surgery to help push everything from his intestine into his stomach. When they did that, they were like, there was no object in there. He just had a blockage of poop in his intestine. They don't know why that happened. So I have no idea why that happened. Very scary and weird because he like stopped eating. He was getting really sick. I don't know how I prevent that in the future. Like, I don't know. But add it to the list of all the weird random shit that's been wrong with Ender. But anyway, because of that, and they had given him an enema as well. But since he had everything pushed out of his intestine, obviously a lot of irritation, the entire night his asshole's leaking blood all over my room.
Mhm.
Even yesterday, a little blood clot fell out of his butt.
Oh my god.
It's been an awful, awful, awful like week and a half. Like I really was like, my dog is gonna die. But he's doing better, but so
That's good.
yes, yesterday he was licking his butthole a lot because of all of the blood, and
Sure.
like, it did not bother me for him to lick my face after that.
I,
I think of all things,
I gotta.
if there's a time that for it to bother you, I would think that would be then. But what would it take?
It wasn't like it wasn't like lick, like he was going like back and forth or whatever. It was like 5 to 10 minutes, probably like 10 minutes later, and
I
my
gotta
mom
say,
was like horrified, and I was like, I mean,
when you started the story, I had a feeling that that's where it was going. That like
yeah.
he's licking his own bloody anus.
There
and
wasn't like
licking your
still
face.
blood in his mouth or anything.
Look, I'm not saying it's fine, I guess, but just the build up to that being like, yeah, he licks his bloody ass and then licks my face. So what? It's cool.
Yeah. I was like really worried I was like crying a lot this week and he was like so
I'm-
sick. And then he was like, he finally wanted to lick my face because he felt better. And I was like, I'm not gonna not let him. I'm not gonna push him away.
I'm very glad that he's feeling better.
Yeah.
He is not allowed to lick my face. I'm just putting that out into the world. If he ever he's never tried it. We're not friends like that yet.
Well, you don't
but-
even have to worry about it, Jake. He hasn't pooped for 3 days. So we're still not totally in the clear.
Okay,
So
well, you say that like I'm gonna be happy to hear that.
All right, I got to review who this review is for the show Freaks and Geeks. I
did you finish
started
it? I
binge
imagine.
watching it. Yes, and so that was on my mind. So I wanted to look up a review. So this is for Freaks and Geeks. It's like a 1-star review. It
Idiot.
says, so here we have a series largely devoted to dopers who do nothing but get wasted and act stupid. This is very appealing to druggies in the TV viewing audience who use drugs and remember using in high school. They think what dopers do and say is funny, while normal people just gawk and gape in surprise at the total lack of wit, intelligence, and humor. Unfortunately, the geeks are ridiculed and isolated because the drug addicts are seen as free thinkers instead of total losers who should be in programs or prison. Most countries in the world do not put up with drug users like the Western countries. So do we want to watch unfunny life adventures of drug users? Most of us do not, but Hollywood still keeps trying to make us like drugs and kids who use them. They are winning more and more because drugs do break down the will to succeed. Why try if a state will call you disabled and pay you to do nothing but use drugs every day? I did watch most of the episodes in the hopes that some kind of fundamental truths would emerge, but few ever did.
Well, they did get canceled, so that's not really their
Yeah.
fault.
Seems like it was written by the president of the Philippines because he was like murdering all the drug users in that country, right?
I did not
Yeah,
hear
I mean,
that.
that's-
But,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure that was right.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is.
mm,
Yeah, there. Well, I mean, there are several countries that have like extremely serious penalties for using drugs, but I don't understand this. First of
I-
all, I guarantee this person like abuses Percocet or something like that. 100%.
Yes, this is like me saying I don't do drugs with a
You're
with a
right.
bottle of 30 Vicodin that aren't mine in my purse.
Yeah, this is. I'm sure this is a Rush Limbaugh situation where they're just condemning drug users while being secretly addicted to prescription drugs. But there's a line where they say that the drug users are winning more and more because the drugs inhibit their desire to succeed.
yes, yes. Drugs break down the will to succeed.
So shouldn't they be losing more and more? Why would they have any power if
Oh, I think they mean that I think it means like they're converting people to drug use, and that's how they're winning. I think that's what
Or
it
like
means.
this narrative of drugs being cool is
Yeah.
winning more.
Yeah, and
which-
kind of converting people.
It's funny because it says it breaks down their will to succeed. And Seth Rogen, I think, has admittedly written every movie he's ever written while completely high, is very successful.
yeah, I mean, everyone on that show is rich and famous now. So
Yeah.
it kind of seems like it's, I mean, Judd Apatow, James Franco, Seth Rogen, Linda Cardellini. There's like 10 people on the cast of that show. Martin Starr, and I want to forget him.
Yeah.
They're like famous now. So
Yeah.
I think it's okay to do drugs, actually.
It's also funny that they're like, and the geeks are ridiculed. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I was
that's
thinking.
the point of
They're
the
geeks.
show. They're geeks, and it was showing them that way. And I don't think the freaks in that show were portrayed as particularly like cool or anything. Not a lot of people liked them
No.
either.
Everyone in the
hence
show
the
was very
freaks.
sad.
Yes,
It
They
was
were
a show
all
about
out-
sad people.
they were all outcasts. So
Yes.
this person is completely missing the point.
Even James Franco, who was like the cool hot guy,
Yeah.
he was very sad. And the show ends with him finally, getting some level of acceptance with the geeks when he starts playing D&D with them.
Yeah, but none of them were popular. Like nobody liked any of them. So this person's very stupid.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that show, the last episode had one of my favorite jokes, I think, that I've seen recently on a television, because it's just so my type of sense of humor. Is there's a scene where Jason Segel's character joins like a dance group, or so he joins like a disco group, and he's competing in a dance off, and he goes up first, and and the scene is like 3 minutes or 4 of him just dancing his ass off, and like clearly worked hard on this thing, and then to a point where the DJ's like, all right, next, let's get the next person out here, and the next person comes up and just starts doing magic, like not even dancing, just does just magic tricks and shit, and everyone's just like, oh my god. And then Jason Segel's like, what the I didn't know you just
You
I
just do
didn't know you
whatever.
could just do magic. What the fuck?
Now, does it remind you of anything that you do? Like, for example, stand-up comedy. Some people work very hard on stand-up comedy, and other people go up and like, I don't know, they do magic. For example, just to pull a random example, they do magic, or they sing or something like that. And you're like, that's cool, but it's like that's not really what we're doing here. But then people love it. They like it way more than what the original thing was going to be.
That's why I hate musical comedy.
Absolutely.
It's a crutch.
Yeah, I
Hear us?
mean, yes, what's his name? Bo Burnham, I do think is a genius, but it's very easy to make people laugh when you cleverly rhyme something in a song.
I think when people are impressed by something that you're doing, they will just clap and appreciate what you're saying, regardless of the content of the joke, quote
Yes.
unquote.
But 8th Grade is a really good movie.
That's a great movie. I don't know. He's a great director. Never watched any of his comedy before, but that's a great movie.
Oh, you have? I mean, his musical comedy I can probably stand more than anybody else's. Like, I watch it and I understand that it's amazing. I just don't think it's super funny.
You just don't like the genre.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, my favorite scene from Freaks and Geeks, or just one that I always remember that just makes me happy because it like seems like pure joy, is when Martin Starr is watching like Saturday morning cartoons and he's eating cereal and he starts laughing and just like all the milk like comes out of his mouth and stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
I just love that.
I haven't watched that show in a long time, but that one scene really that stuck with me.
It's pure joy.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So take that 1-star reviewer. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Well, I went first, so I can go again. This is a very long one. This is a review for Michigan's Adventure. 1 star.
What
And
is
the title,
that?
Michigan's Adventure is a theme park in Michigan.
Okay.
1 star. And the title of the review is Racist Employees. We visited August 7th. A group of 14 white people and my husband, who is black. We left the park to eat a cooler lunch in the parking lot, and upon re-entry, my husband was pulled from the group and actually patted down. He asked the employee why nobody else in the group had to go through the metal detector or get frisked, and the answer was, I didn't see them. Really? All 14 of us standing 2 feet away? This was an older white man, balding, light blue shirt, about 5'8". Okay, I'm 6 feet tall. Just
You're balding and you have a light blue shirt.
First of all, this is gray.
It just looks blue from the lighting.
All right, I'm not older.
Okay.
I'm not balding. I'm done balding. I'm just bald.
Okay.
This is gray, and I'm 6 feet tall, not
Okay.
5'8".
Okay.
So this was not me. Also, I don't work at Michigan.
You didn't even have. I pointed at you silently. You didn't
but
even
I
have
knew
to
what
bring
you were
that up.
thinking. I knew what you were thinking. All right. I should have gotten his name, but my back was to the gate, and I didn't realize
Jake.
it was not me. I didn't realize what was happening until my husband told me later in the day. Makes me very angry. What's worse is that I'm positive my husband makes a tremendously larger salary, has a better credit score, a higher education, and a better background check than this middle-aged man working in the lines at Michigan's Adventure who had the balls to frisk him down because of skin color. With all that said, the park is small, like a big carnival. The young adults in the group were disappointed. The roller coaster broke down because one of the employees was screwing around and forgot to secure the belt on an empty seat. My sister and brother-in-law sat on it for 20 minutes because of her error, and she even said, I'll probably get fired today, before the ride took off. Also, a lot of the rides don't get manned until noon. Since I had a 5-year-old who wanted to ride them, this was frustrating. We had no idea only a third of the park actually lived at 11. All in all, it was good for 1 day. Water park at a little bit, whatever. Yeah, so.
I was on her side until she became extremely elitist. And
Wasn't that awful?
yeah.
Like, okay, yes, the first paragraph is her saying, I was with my family, and the one black member of my family got singled out to be frisked like an Arab person at the airport. Like, oh, that's awful. And she's like, but my husband, by the way, is rich. So you shouldn't even be trying that shit because he has a really high credit score. Middle-aged man working at Michigan's Adventure. Like,
Who
Named
makes
Jake.
more money than you and has a higher education than you, which I'm solely basing on your profession.
right.
And it's okay to be classist, but not racist, just so you know.
It was just like everybody was so on your side in the beginning. And then
You ruined it.
But just like, I know for a fact that my husband's credit score is higher than how do you know that?
They work for Equifax.
Maybe it's 820, and that's how she knows.
Because
Like,
there's
that's as
no
high as it
higher.
goes.
Yeah.
What was their issue with like the empty seat? They were like sitting on a seatbelt.
I did not understand that part. What she said is a roller coaster broke down because one of the employees was screwing around and forgot to secure the belt on an empty seat.
So maybe the belt could have been flapping around in the air while the ride was going and like smacked somebody probably.
I can't, but she says that the ride broke down, which if the ride is so sensitive that it'll break if one of the seat belt is unbuckled, that ride's already in rough shape.
Yeah.
But I do like the lady who's working the roller coaster, buckling you in, being like, hey, look, I'm probably getting fired today. Imagine that happen, like you're getting buckled in and they say that to your face. You're like, oh, well, okay, because I'm kind of putting my life in your hands right now.
Yeah.
So I hope you care about that as well as your job. I hope
That
it's
is
a two-pronged thing.
That is what I like about Disneyland is that everybody who works there does always seem like pretty happy. And I know that they like have to be that way, but it never does feel forced. Like they do all seem pretty happy, so that makes me feel better.
They're good actors if they're all faking it.
Yeah.
It's but yeah, you don't want to hear, because like carnival rides and shit like that and roller coasters, like you can convince yourself that they're safe, but I think deep down everybody knows like this could go very wrong very easily. So you need to feel like the person who's doing it, even if they're like 17 and they work 12 hours a week and they had a 30-minute training course and have no idea how the thing actually works. You have to convince yourself like, okay, this person has their shit together and they're going to take care of me. But if they're like, by the way, I'm going to get fired today because I don't know, I tested positive for opium, so this is the last ride I'm ever going to do, so good luck out there.
Yeah.
You don't want to hear that.
How many times have you been on a ride that has broken down? Because I know I've been on Pirates of the Caribbean. That's happened to me a couple of times.
Yes, I was going to say Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh, that's a stupid fucking ride. I hate that goddamn ride.
Yeah, I don't know if it was Pirates, but it was like one of the slower rides at Disneyland like that you get stuck there and then you're like, why did I even go on? You have enough time to think about, why not even go on this ride? It sucks. I'm not having fun. Even if it was going normally, it would not be fun. Because Pirates of the Caribbean is just not that great of a ride.
It's my least favorite ride. If I would never go on that again if it were up to me.
Yeah.
And you're also surrounded by water, and that's kind of like if it breaks down, that's kind of nerve-wracking because you like know where to go.
I'm sure it's like ankle high.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know, something about it just freaks me out. I'm just like, God damn it.
It does. There is like a more claustrophobic feel. Like if you get trapped on, I don't know, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or whatever, one of the other really slow rides, it's like, well, I mean, if something really went wrong, I could just get out of this and walk to the front. But with the water there, it does feel like, all right, I'm trapped here in this pirate village or whatever until someone frees me and the boat starts moving again.
And then you're just staring at everybody eating dinner at Blue Bayou.
Right. Yeah, you're looking up and you're like watching that scene where they're chasing the woman to go assault her.
I think they changed.
They reversed
that.
it now. Yeah.
They reversed it and now it's the woman chasing the man. But yeah,
You got us, ladies.
girl boss.
Yes,
Really,
empowered.
really, that's a real victory for feminism. But it is insane how long that was a part of the ride. Because, I mean, you don't really think about it, but it's like pirates were, I mean, they
raped a lot of people.
It was one of the things they did.
What's that, Brittany?
They pillaged.
Pillage is one.
Yes.
Which is not good to pillage, but you know, I can forgive a little pillaging from now and then.
They stole.
Yeah, that's
thieves. Yeah.
Very similar to pillaging.
Pillaged and stole. Yep. They just destroyed things.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who hasn't had that urge though to just sort of,
you know what, they don't seem that bad.
Yeah.
But then
they
rape people.
See, now that's where they lose me. That part, I'm like, can't you just be fun and have like a cool flag and then you're like sticking it to the British Navy or whatever you did.
I don't remember seeing that in the movies though, and I thought that they were supposed to be really accurate.
You're right. There is no graphic rape scene in Pirates of the Caribbean. Now that I remember back on it, it's like, yeah, that was.
I didn't finish the third movie though, so maybe did you guys?
Oh,
No,
might be a
there's-
post credit. I did watch the the entire third one, but there might be a post credit. We'll see. Just for,
They're like, well, this is the last movie anyway, so we
it's
might.
like
Well, they-
super graphic.
I mean, they made so many of those dang movies. They got that movie with Javier Bardem as like the ghost guy, and there's all kinds of crazy shit that happens in those. So who knows?
Let's start wrapping up here.
God.
Do follow us on Instagram at Zero If I Could Podcast. You can also donate to our Patreon at patreon.com/Zero If I Could.
So Jake can whop it to some video game. Some
Whop
porn.
it?
Is it whop?
What?
I was trying to think. What do you call it? What am I trying to think of?
I
Whack
have
it?
no clue.
No,
Fap?
FAP. Maybe FAP. I
okay.
think FAP.
Okay.
Yes.
All right,
But
so if you guys
Okay, go ahead.
whop it.
if we get up to 100 and let's say $100 a month for our Patreon, Jake will whop it to a
Oh no.
video
said I-
game.
Okay, first of all right, instead of 100 patrons, let's say 20 patrons. You know,
Well,
the number doesn't.
I meant. Well, I guess yeah. I meant dollars, $100.
Yeah.
Right. That's
So
what I
you-
originally
20
said was
patrons. You're right.
$100 a month. But I don't like thinking of it that way, so let's just say 20 patrons. If 20 people pledge to the Patreon, doesn't matter how much, then I will buy a hentai game, I guess, of
It doesn't have to be a hentai, just a porn game.
a porn game of some kind. Maybe we'll vote on that.
Yeah.
And I will play it for, I don't know, at least 6 hours. something like
And
that.
you have to whop it.
I'm not, first of all, it's not whopping it. I've never heard that before. And also, I'm not I cannot imagine myself actually being turned on by one of those waxy looking 3D games or a hentai game. I'm not gonna jack
No one said
off
you have
to
to
a
be
video
turned
game.
on for this experience.
You don't have to be turned on to whop it.
Okay, I guess I just do things differently than you guys.
A whop it, baby. A whop.
I'm thinking of
Which one?
Whop it?
bop it.
Yep.
Well, yeah. So afterwards you can just go whop. You whop it.
Okay, if all I have to do is smack the top of my dick one time after I play the game, that's fine. I'll do that.
Well, I bet you put your name into the game, so the whole game they're probably like, Jake. Oh, Jake this. And then you'll probably be like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're
Dang.
right.
Yeah.
I'm the fucking man.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I got it. Well, I got to whop it now.
Yes.
Okay.
And also, if we get to 30 Patreon members, I will eat this really hot chip.
Oh
That's
yeah.
I'm
the
gonna
chip
do the one
challenge.
chip challenge on video. Yes.
And then what
Okay.
if we get to 40? Brittany, what are you going to do?
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I mean, I already let my dog lick my face after licking his bloody asshole. What is
I mean,
there?
Yeah. how
What
could
is there that
possibly
you could
degrade
do to
yourself?
me that I, you know what? I'll
we'll have to figure
donate blood.
If we get to 50 patrons, Brittany will donate blood.
I
Wow.
won't. I really won't. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
We'll
you know what?
figure-
Let's take suggestions. And so,
We'll figure something out.
yeah, we'll figure something out. So, listener, if you can think of something for Brittany
I'll go
to
see a
do,
psychic,
that would be a good one.
or I'll get my tarot cards read. One of those.
Okay.
I will do that. I'd
Okay.
rather do that than donate blood.
Fair enough. All right. That has been our episode. Do follow me personally at Raoul Z Comedy. Brittany, where can they find you?
At Bitchney H.
Follow Brittany at Bitchney H. Jake, any final thoughts regarding Will Smith and Chris Rock debacle?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you can see it coming a mile away. Everyone knew this was going to happen at the Oscars tonight. They're trying to distract us from looming water crisis. That's what I'm going to go with. Pretty soon, there's going to be no water to drink, and we're going to look back on this moment and be like, that was a government psyop to make us forget about how pretty soon there's not going to be any water. So it's obvious to anyone who's paying attention.
Yeah,
All right,
that's what I took away from it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
that has been our show. Goodbye.
Down, drag